Disney's $350 million live-action remake is now officially rated worse on IMDb than The Human Centipede. This is part of her new strategy to win people over. She hit Instagram with a post not about her acting or the movie or even an apology to all the fans for her nonstop foot and mouth disorder. No. And then whatever she does, stop pulling these transparent Hollywood PR stunts. They're not connecting her to people, especially as the film is in the bottom of the top 10 charts in last place. Everybody seems to know why it's failed except Zegler.
Rachel Zegler is currently navigating a significant career crisis after Disney made the unprecedented decision to pull her version of Snow White from theaters and retail outlets. In a surprising twist, she is now pursuing legal action against major studios like Sony, Paramount, and Lionsgate for terminating her contract.
She has this underlying anger and hatred in her that always has to take it like one step too far. So first and foremost, if you're going to be cast as Snow White, maybe appreciate the original Snow White.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, oh, maybe I could be president one day. I hate that. I just want to be president.
While it's clear that Disney felt compelled to act in order to protect its legacy, the extent of this reaction raises eyebrows. After weeks of negative press surrounding Snow White, it's hard to envision how Disney can rehabilitate its image, especially when the film's failure seems to hinge on the comments of a single actress. It's crucial to recognize that Zegler isn't the only one affected by this debacle.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Countless other talented individuals contributed to the film, and their hard work is now overshadowed by the fallout from her remarks. If there's one surefire way to derail your career, it's by publicly criticizing the very project you're involved in. Initially, Zegler appeared to be on a meteoric rise after her breakout role in West Side Story.
I just have to note the smugness and superiority on this 23, 25, something like that, girl's face. Young, a little bit of humility, you know? This is a story that's been around for a long, long time. You're not improving on it. So they took out the famous theme song, Someday My Prince Will Come, because it's not fair for a woman to live for love or want to find love or want to find a prince.
And the announcement of her casting as Snow White. The industry buzzed with excitement, heralding her as the next Disney princess, a role that promised to be both magical and transformative. However, things took a dramatic turn when Zegler began to voice her opinions about the character and the original story.
Trump wins, and Rachel decides to go on really just a psychopathic, demented rant, basically accusing all Trump supporters of being awful people, which is par for the course. I'm okay with that. But then she wished harm on Trump and all of his supporters for the next years to come. And you're so out of touch. You've never probably even spoken to a farmer or a rancher. You don't know any people to speak up who have issues filling up their tank. You've just been living in Hollywood, la la land for so long.
Leading to a series of missteps that would ultimately define her career trajectory. Her comments about Snow White not needing a prince and dismissing the classic tale as outdated raised eyebrows and sparked controversy. She famously stated, "It's no longer 1937, and the prince is a stalker."
Does this mean that it's no longer 1937? And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Which many saw as a direct attack on the beloved character and the film's legacy. Critics were quick to point out that her portrayal of Snow White seemed more focused on pushing a modern agenda than honoring the original story. At first, Zegler's attempts to reimagine Snow White as a strong, independent leader rather than a romantic figure were seen as a refreshing take on a classic character.
So Snow White slept and waited for her prince to come, but he never did. Because a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Snow White was brought back to life by a lady doctor.
And she lived happily ever after?
Well, she couldn't indulge in strenuous activities like handball, but otherwise, she was fine.
That's nice.
After all, many in Hollywood and beyond have championed the idea of empowering female characters. However, her comments quickly turned the narrative against her. The backlash intensified when she made politically charged statements during her press tour, further alienating potential fans and drawing ire from those who felt she was disrespecting the original material.
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple.
A wishing apple?
You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable!
Then came The Simpsons, which aired an episode titled Snow Woke that parodied Zegler's portrayal of Snow White. The show depicted her character as an insufferable feminist, critiquing the film's direction and mocking Zegler's real-life persona. This satirical take resonated with audiences, turning her into a punchline rather than a star.
Like, who has been the most exciting person for you tonight? Oh my God. Besides, but took the word out of my mouth. Besides.
What the hell is even that?
Because right now there's more dwarves on this podcast than there are in the new Snow White movie.
The episode didn't just poke fun at her, it went for the jugular, portraying her as someone who was more interested in dismantling the patriarchy than in embodying the spirit of a beloved fairy tale character. In the wake of this mockery, Zegler chose silence as her response, which only fueled speculation about her ability to handle the situation.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Hollywood insiders began to distance themselves from her, labeling her as radioactive and a liability for future projects. The term radioactive in Hollywood is essentially a career death sentence, indicating that a star has become too controversial or problematic for studios to work with.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
You had one job. Just the one?
Kalel, no. Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
As the internet exploded with memes and commentary, Zegler's reputation took a nosedive. What was once a highly anticipated film became an afterthought, and her name was quietly scrubbed from promotional materials. The public perception shifted dramatically, and Zegler found herself at the center of a PR disaster.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
That seemed insurmountable. The fallout from her comments and the subsequent parody episode had a ripple effect throughout the industry. Major studios and casting directors began to avoid her at all costs, fearing that associating with her could tarnish their own reputations.
Fastest way to tank your career, go out there and start running your mouth and trashing the original IP of the film you're in.
The digital landscape played a critical role in her fall from grace. Social media, which can propel careers to unprecedented heights, quickly turned against her.
I just wanted to go on this little baby rant about Rachel Zegler, Disney's worst investment ever in the history of Disney investment.
Zegler's attempts to reframe Snow White as a modern, empowered character inadvertently alienated the very audience she sought to inspire. Instead of embracing the role with humility and respect for its legacy,
do you want to be Snow White or do you hate Snow White? Do you want to destroy Snow White? They went way too woke. They ended up kind of changing the whole movie.
She seemed intent on pushing a political agenda, which many fans found off-putting. The backlash against her was not just about the film. It became a broader commentary on Hollywood's approach to cultural reboots and the perceived disconnect between stars and their audiences.
When a cartoon character that was voiced in the 30s has more humanity and charm than the actual person who was filmed on screen in live action, that's a problem.
Now the question remains, can Rachel Zegler recover from this? The road ahead is fraught with challenges, and she must demonstrate humility and authenticity if she hopes to rebuild her brand. The entertainment industry thrives on public perception, and Zegler's recent actions have left her image tarnished. To move forward, she needs to acknowledge her missteps and reconnect with the audience that once supported her.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
The days of unfiltered commentary are fading, and Zegler must learn to balance her personal views with the expectations of her fans and the industry. Authenticity is the currency of today's entertainment landscape, and right now, Zegler has shown very little of it.
BBC said Disney's Snow White has a major identity crisis. I mean, guys, every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal.
And this bed is just like the first one.
The most valuable asset she can have moving forward is to drop the elitist lecturing tone and get back to acting. Not preaching, not alienating, just doing her job and being relatable to the fans who once adored her.
TLDR, the girls and the gays, we all want a man, we all dream about true love, so Disney, that is not outdated.
The challenge ahead is massive, especially considering how much damage has already been done to her reputation. Zegler's silence in the face of relentless public mockery only worsens her situation.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah. Weird.
If she's truly serious about salvaging her career, she needs to step up, acknowledge her mistakes, and prove that she has learned from them. The entertainment industry is unforgiving, and the longer she remains silent, the more the narrative will be shaped by others, often in a negative light.
Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights.
Ugh.
Come on,
Go get Cheshire Cat.
go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
Moreover, Zegler must also consider the broader implications of her actions. The backlash-driven culture that has emerged in Hollywood is not going away.
I see exactly what you mean. This is a problem. But what do you expect me to do?
Change what she says. It's your company.
It's a reality that every actor must navigate. Her outspoken nature, while admirable in some contexts, has become a liability. The industry is quick to judge, and Zegler's recent comments have left her vulnerable to scrutiny.
You check under the bed and make sure there's no Disney executives under there.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, only this time, it wasn't just me. They were taking all my favorite people and replacing them with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy.
As she contemplates her next steps, Zegler should focus on rebuilding her image through genuine engagement with her audience. This means being open to feedback, showing humility, and perhaps even taking a step back from the spotlight to reflect on her approach.
What an idiot I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Yeah. Weird.
The road to recovery requires not just talent, but also a willingness to adapt and grow. In conclusion, Rachel Zegler's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of fame and the importance of understanding one's audience.
Weird.
I don't need your business.
The entertainment industry is a fickle place, and while comebacks are possible, they require a strategic approach and a commitment to authenticity. The question remains, can Rachel Zegler rise from the ashes of this PR disaster, or has her career truly reached its end? Only time will tell, but the path ahead is fraught with challenges that will test her resilience and adaptability. As the industry watches closely, Zegler has the opportunity to redefine her narrative.
I will become the leader I know I can be. All shall love me and despair.
Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not, First Love's kiss can break any curse.
She could consider collaborating with seasoned professionals who can guide her through this tumultuous period. Engaging in projects that align with her values while also respecting the legacy of the character she portrays could be a way to regain public trust.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Ultimately, the key to her resurgence lies in her ability to listen, learn, and evolve. The entertainment landscape is ever-changing, and adaptability is crucial for long-term success. If Zegler can navigate this challenging chapter with grace and humility, she may yet find a way to reclaim her place in the hearts of audiences and the industry alike. The journey of recovery will not be easy, and Zegler must be prepared for the long haul.
Disney character you identify with most? Mickey, Nemo, Peter Pan, or Dumbo? Dumbo. That's sad, but yeah, like...
Well. How the turntables...
She should consider leveraging social media not just for self-promotion, but as a platform for genuine connection. Engaging with fans, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of her work, and being transparent about her growth can help rebuild her image. Moreover, Zegler could explore roles that allow her to showcase her versatility as an actress. Taking on diverse characters that challenge her and resonate with audiences can shift the focus away from her past controversies.
You always want to tell a fun, exciting story, and every time I've ever made a movie, I go into it going, I want this to be the best movie ever made.
Or what? They're leaning into woke.
Collaborating with writers and directors who prioritize storytelling over political agendas might also help her regain credibility. Furthermore, Zegler could benefit from focusing on her craft. Investing time in acting classes, workshops, or even theater productions can help her hone her skills and remind audiences of her talent. By prioritizing her artistry over public opinion, she may find a renewed sense of purpose and direction.
No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
Ultimately, the path to redemption is paved with hard work, humility, and a willingness to adapt. Rachel Zegler has the potential to emerge from this crisis stronger and more relatable than ever. The entertainment industry is known for its capacity for forgiveness, and if she can demonstrate growth and authenticity,
because you just can't close your mouth. You just can't be sane, even when you do open your mouth. I think this girl does not deserve a feature-length film, but rather, she deserves to be in a padded cell.
There may still be a bright future ahead for her. As she embarks on this journey, it will be essential for Zegler to remain true to herself, while also being mindful of the audience that supports her. Balancing personal beliefs with professional responsibilities is a delicate dance, but one that can lead to a more fulfilling and sustainable career in the long run. In the end, Rachel Zegler's story is not just about the pitfalls of fame.
Never mind that the lyrics make no sense at all. All you have to do to make your dream come true is let it echo, is it like on a metaphorical level.
But also about resilience and the power of reinvention. The world will be watching, and how she chooses to respond to this moment will define her legacy in the years to come.